Hello again, Year 4. Welcome back. Welcome back to the hut. I hope you all had a lovely week's break and I hope you're all ready for some more space-related musical activities and a little bit more work on pitch and ostinatos. Hopefully we know what those things mean now. So to start off with, we're going to get ourselves ready for some singing. We're going to do our 1-2-1 song that we started before. That's all about step-by-step pitches going up the scale. Do you need reminding? Let's just do it one time. Off we go. 1, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? Good. Right, now you've remembered how it goes, we're going to do something a little bit more difficult with it. We're going to start slowly, and then as we get up to about number 5, we're going to start moving up the tempo and get faster, so that by the time we get to number 8, we're really powering along, nice and fast, but not rushing. Okay, so start slowly, get faster. Are you ready? Off we go. 1, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Crikey, that gets to be a bit of a tongue twister by the end, doesn't it? Easy? Not too bad? Let's do the opposite. We're going to start fast and then get slower. Okay? Are you ready? So we're going to start off pretty speedy. So it'll be like this. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, and then get slower gradually as we go along. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How did that go? Was that any easier or more difficult? Getting slower or getting faster? I think a lot of people find it much harder to get slower at an equal rate than they do getting faster. Those little things have got Italian words. You know, ostinato is a bit of an Italian word. Getting faster in Italian is accelerando. Can you say that? Accelerando. Speeding up, gradually getting faster, like accelerator, yes? And then getting gradually slower is rallentando, rallentando. Okay, so you've learned 2 new Italian words. How exciting! Accelerando and rallentando. Super job. Now I'm going to totally melt your brains and I'm going to ask you to do the same song but to use your thinking voice and replace 2 of the numbers with an action instead. We're going to go back to our normal pulse. And what I want you to do is every time you sing 3, the number 3, I want you to do it in your head, in your thinking voice, and clap instead. Okay, so let's do the whole thing all the way through, and every time you get to 3, clap. This is going to melt your brain. Are you ready? Off we go. 1, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Keep going. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. You know, I lost track halfway through that and I'm not sure whether I did 7 or not. If you found that hard, perhaps you could rewind and do it all over again. Wasn't that tricky? Next week, I'm going to make it even more difficult by adding another action. Ha-ha! You can practice it if you like. Great. Time for us to sit down and do our Jupiter song. We're going to learn about Jupiter this week. Okie dokie. So, last time I saw you, we introduced a couple of signing actions for each of the colours. Yes? Let's see if we can remember them. Orange, yellow, red and white. White. Hope you can see my hands there. Seems a bit blurry on my laptop, but it's probably fine where you are. Okay, so orange, yellow, red and white. You remember that little phrase? Let's sing the whole thing through, nice and steady, really listening for the pitches of this song. See if you can remember it. I'll do it twice just in case you can't. Off we go. Jupiter goes round and round, but in space it makes no sound. Orange, yellow, red and white, biggest planet in the night. Okay? Not too difficult. Let's do it again. Off we go. Jupiter goes round and round, but in space it makes no sound. Orange, yellow, red and white, biggest planet in the night. Super. So we have already looked at putting the pitches of that song in, haven't we? And how many different pitches did you notice? Jupiter goes round. We've got 3 pitches there. If you were to give them a number of the scale, the steps that we've been doing on the 1-2-1 exercise, it would be number 1, 1, miss one out, 2, 3 is the next pitch, and then miss another one out, 4, 5, 1, 3, 5. The whole song only uses those 3 pitches, the first, the third and the 5th note of the scale, and that's quite common in lots of music. So that is in itself a little repeated pattern, isn't it? Just using 3 notes. But today we're going to work at another kind of repeated pattern, and you already know the word to this, ostinato. Now, way back when we were looking at Mars, I was asking you to make up your own rhythmic ostinatos and your own body percussion ostinatos and some ostinatos that used the words of the planets. I'm not sure whether you did those activities. I'm hoping that you did. If you didn't, you can go away and do it again. Today, we're going to do it all together though. So, this time, we're going to do a pitched ostinato. So we're going to make up a repeated pattern that goes all the way through the song that uses one, well, more than one, let's hope, because one would be rather boring, wouldn't it? 1, 2 or 3 of those pitches as an ostinato. So let me give you an example. My really boring ostinato that could go all the way through this song is going to go like this. Jupiter, 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 Jupiter. It's a bit like a rhythmic ostinato, but on just 1 pitch. It was on note 1. Could you hear that? I could make it more interesting though, surely. What if I decide to use pitch 1 and pitch 3? but the same rhythm. Jupiter, 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 Jupiter. Immediately it just sounds a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? What if I choose to use all three pitches? There are 3 syllables on the word Jupiter. I can use 3 pitches. Off I go. Jupiter, 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 Jupiter. And that immediately sounds even more interesting. Let's see how my ostinato would fit with the rest of the song. So what I want you to do is I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I want you guys to sing the Jupiter goes round and round song all the way through, and I am going to sing my new, just made it up on the spot, melodic. That's the name for a pitched piece of music, a melody. My melodic ostinato is going to go underneath what you're doing. Stick to your guns, don't sing what I'm singing, sing the song. Do you think we can do it? Okay, remember I'm going to count 4 and then we both start on the same note. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Jupiter, 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 Jupiter. I hope you managed that. Now I've got no idea what that sounds like apart from what I can hear in my head. You had the benefit of having 2 parts going at the same time there. Did it work? Did it sound nice having an ostinato going underneath what you were doing? Yeah? Great. Let's see if I can make up another one. What about I take a slightly longer rhythmic pattern? That was a bit dull, wasn't it? Just te-te-ta, te-te-ta. Maybe I could find something that's a little bit rhythmically more interesting as well. What about round and round and round and round? Round and round and round and round. That's got a bit more interest to it. It's a longer pattern as well. What pitches shall I use? If it's round and round, what about making the pitches go round and round? What about if I start on note 5 and do some jumping around? How about this? Off I go, round and round and round and round, round and round and round and round. That makes twice as long an ostinato as before, and it's got a little bit more rhythmic interest. It's going a little bit faster. Let's see what that sounds like when you sing your song and I do it underneath. So you carry on with your Jupiter. I'll count 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Round and round and round and round, round and round and round and round, round and round and round and round, round and round and round and round. Did that work? Was that better than the previous one? Not so good? Were there any moments in the song where we were doing the same thing even? So, what I want you to do for a bit of extra work this week, because we're not going to have a very long lesson this week, I would like you to see if you could come up with your own melodic pitched ostinato. Just as I've done, find yourself a little rhythm, choose some words from the song, and then work out which 3 pitches you're going to use. Is it going to be 4 beats long, like the first one I did? Maybe even 8 beats long. So that would go over a whole sentence in the music. If you're at school, you could do this with a partner. One of you can sing the song and the other one can sing the little ostinato, and then you can swap, as long as you're far enough apart, of course. That's a little bit of work for you to do before next week, because what I'd like to do is to be able to me sing the song and you do your ostinato underneath it. So you might want to try writing it down. Use the rhythms that we know already, tetes, tars and rests. And you could just put 1, 3 and 5 to remind you which pitch to use. Okay, there's a little bit of work for you to do. Super. Now, I think it's time for us to move on to the Jupiter planet in Holst's The Planet Suite. So we've listened to Mars, great big powerful piece of music, and this one is about Jupiter, the bringer of jollity. That's what Holst put next to his title when he wrote this. The bringer of jollity. Jollity meaning happiness, humour, that sort of thing. Do we know that most of the planets are named after gods and goddesses? Yes? So Jupiter was the king of the gods. So this is obviously going to be not just a jolly piece, but it's majestic, it's positive. It's got all sorts of different motifs in it. Lots and lots of little themes that he uses over and over again. Now it is a very long one, this one, so I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to get it started and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. And then, about halfway through, I want you to listen out for a really important tune that we're going to do some more work on. Oh, there you are, look, it's halfway through already. Here we go. I love the beginning of this. Can you hear it? Woo! It's already jolly, isn't it? It's already getting your pulse racing. All the orchestra, all playing at the same time. It's a fanfare! Fantastic! Now the strings underneath are playing this really fast little 3-note pattern. And some people think that that might represent the rotation of Jupiter, because apparently it has the fastest rotation of all the planets. It goes round, it spins round more quickly than any of the other planets in the solar system, even faster than us, and it's way bigger. Can you imagine? You'd fling off into space, wouldn't you? He's had about 4 different tunes already. Goodness gracious. Somebody has also suggested that it sounds a bit like a country fair from sort of about 100 years ago. Where you'd have like an organ playing and a little band in the corner. Might even have some country dancing going on. He's definitely using all the orchestra. Here comes another tune. He's written an Italian word over the top of this in the music. Pesante, which means heavy. This really sounds like a dance, doesn't it? Almost like a Spanish dance with castanets. And then he keeps putting little bits of the other themes in as well, the other motifs. It's so clever. Fantastic to be a timpani player in the planets, the kettle drum player. You'd be really busy. So it's almost a bit uncomfortable, this piece. Just as soon as you get used to one of the tunes, he changes it and does another one. Here comes another one. It's all just suddenly got quieter. But in a moment is the tune that I want you to listen to. This may be a tune that you recognise, but you're not quite sure why. There it is. what I call a tune. You could use all sorts of wonderful describing words for that. Soaring, majestic, uplifting. It's fantastic. It's such a good tune. We're actually only halfway through the piece now, but that is such a good tune that it's been used for several other purposes. Not long after Holst composed this and they performed it as a big orchestral piece, that tune was also made into a hymn, so a song that people would sing in church. So they put words to it. I vow to thee my country, all earthly things above. And it's been sung in churches ever since. And it's also been sung at various other places, such as rugby matches. Yes, I know a few of you are quite interested in rugby, and you may have heard people singing that at big rugby matches, big championship matches, like the Three Nations and the Six Nations that are on at the moment. So I have got another piece of work for you to do, another little extra piece of work for you to do. I'm going to send Miss Brown a link to 3 different versions of that tune. And they're all the rugby version. So what I'd like you to do, if you get time, is to choose 2 of them and see if you can compare the different versions. Don't have to listen to the whole thing, just the beginning of it will do. But choose 2 of them and see if you can compare them. What are the similarities? What's different? And you'll find that the words are different as well, because the tune was used for the, I believe, 1991 World Cup rugby tournament as the big tune to get everybody ready for rugby. So it's called World in Union. So have a little watch and a listen to those 2 and see what you think. And if you're not singing that tune by the end of the day, there's something wrong with you. It's the most amazing tune. Anyway, there's some work for you to do. I hope you've enjoyed that lovely piece of Holst music, and I shall catch up with you in a week's time. Cheerio, bye.